Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Wizard101 for old folks. So we are going to start in on the second part of Secrets of the Spiral in this video, and I am going to take you around and show you some more secret little areas that people may not know about, and some places where you can get some secret items that are free for your wizard. So y'all hang with me. The first land that we're going to visit is Wysteria. Wysteria has a few things for us. We are going to start off right up here at Pegasus Place. And you can see I started at Pixwix Academy and went all the way up and around and over until we reached the stables. Once you're at the stables, it's easy. Just come on in and you'll find a Pegasus statue just for you. Now we've made our way to the opposite end of this world, and we're at Lord Bramble's Tower. Let me show you where we are. Now we come in to Tanglewood Way, and we're going to land right here at the tower. Usually I'll go in and go all the way around, and I'll follow along, and I'll switch over to this side and then go through the roots and find our way to the tower. This way we avoid those tree men the best, and we get to the tower. Now once you're at the tower, just circle around to the back of it, and you see the little tree right there? That's our freebie. So pick it up and it'll head straight to the inventory for your house. Now once you're back out on the street, you'll see opposite the vines where we go into Tanglewood Way is the School of Equilibrium. So go into the School of Equilibrium and all the way down to the teacher's desk. If you look on her desk, you'll find a clock. We've traveled all the way to Mooshu, and just inside the World Gate, when you land in Mooshu, you'll want to go down one level and around to the back, and there's a stone obelisk that you could pick up. Now after you head towards the palace in Mooshu, you'll hang a left on the first road to Hametsu Village. Once you go into the village, you're going to go all the way up to the teleporters. See them there? Then you'll hang a right. Now over here, you'll see fire. And peeking out behind the fire is a samurai bust. Now you have to finagle a little bit to get the box to come up in order for you to click on it. But now you have your own samurai bust. Okay, head back to the palace. Now we're actually going to go into the throne room itself to find our next freebie. Now once you're in the throne room, hang a left. See the little yellow silk kimono? You got it. That's our next one. So our next one is probably our longest one to get to. It's at the Shirataki Temple dungeon. And yes, you have to get through the entire dungeon in order to get to it. So once you beat the Wave Bringer, you can go up and into the actual Shirataki Temple. You'll go to your right once you're inside, and this one does take a while, don't get me wrong. The dungeon itself, when you get to the palace, you'll hang a right and go through that dojo, which will take you to the Shoshin Village. From the Shoshin Village, you have to work your way through this dungeon all the way up and around. It takes a while to do it, guys. It really does. But it is worth it in the end. You're going to go up and around, and all the way to the very top is what you're shooting for. That's the actual Shirataki temple. Now, they have been kind to us and have installed some teleporters that you will see up here right next to the temple itself. And this teleporter system will take you down and into the elemental shrines, which is an area that you have to beat each one of those shrines, a battle at each one, in order to come back up and into the temple. But once you're here, this serpent tablet on the right is our freebie that we can get. So let me go ahead and grab it. But that's not the only reason to come to this particular battle, because there's also this man up behind the bosses. Now this is where the Plague Oni is that you fight, but behind him, this vendor actually has craftable permanent spells. Now these are not the treasure card spells, these actually are the permanent spells that can go into your deck. And there's one for each of the different schools. So you have the Goat Monk, the Keeper of the Flames, Krampus, you could get the Luminous Weaver, the Ninja Pig, and the Samurai even. So if you wanted a treasure card, the Krampus does come in a treasure card, but of course we all like the permanent spells, and getting the Revenant added to your spell deck, that would be just great. Now before you leave that village, go up and around to the right, and there'll be another road, and that road leads you to Kashibi Village. So that's our next stop, is at Kashibi Village. It's really not hard to find. Let me show you on the map. So if you see, we're right here. Now we started at Shoshin Village, and we just need to get a short distance. So follow the road up and around, and that'll get you right here. You want to look for the river. And once you find the river, just follow it up. You'll see two monks, and you'll want to go right behind those monks. There's a small boulder right here, a stone, and it's our next freebie. Now that's all of the freebies that I found in Mooshu. I'm sure there's more. Y'all be sure to let us know in the comments if you know of any more in Mooshu. And in the meantime, we've made it over to Dragonspyre. Now, once you get into Dragonspyre, there are a few things that we can do. So we're going to start out right here in the main area, and we're going to go to our right. Right down here through that doorway, we're going to find Prospector Zeke and Miss Eloise, and there's even a snack vendor down here. But what we're interested in is right in the middle. This lava fountain, believe it or not, is your next freebie. Come through the Athenaeum from the Basilica. We're going to go over the bridge, and the first thing I want to show you is to your right. This is where you're going to find your crafter, your reagent vendor, and even the fishing vendor is down here. So when you can't find them, that's where you need to go. Then we're going to head right back up the way we started. Now I have to do an honorable mention for the housing and furniture vendors right here. The houses that they offer, they actually have two different castles that they offer, and they are some really nice castles. It would be well worth your time if you wanted to stop in and at least preview them because they are really, really special. So definitely go look at those. And then stop in and look at the furniture vendor. Now, I don't look at a lot of the furniture vendors, but she has some things that we might not have seen before in a lot of them. I found some of the floors and walls that I had not seen in the bazaar before, which is where I usually look for that type of thing. So if you're into decorating, this would be a great place to look for new patterns. She also has outdoor things, and the small astral tent is there, and she even carries the different crafting stations for your wizard as well. And there are some decorative type of things like the statue bases that a lot of us use in gardening. Also, I wanted to mention that this is the area that most people farm for stones when they're trying to come up with diamonds and they're having to craft them from stones. They just come to this area, gather them up, and then switch realm to realm until they've farmed enough stones for it. Now, next door to the furniture shop is the hat, robe, and athame shop. This is our next stop. You'll come in right next to Milo's bookworm, and you'll hang a right. Just around the corner, first we'll run into the Lore Master. This is where everybody goes to farm for the Lore Master spell. Keep going around though. We're headed for the staircase. Up the stairs, hang a right, and then hang a left into this hallway. Now this is the actual hat and robe vendor, but what we're interested in is right past him. This dragon skull obelisk is your next freebie. Okay, we've come into the Plaza of Conquest. So we come from the Athenaeum and straight up into the Plaza of Conquest. You can go straight to the teleporters that you'll find, and it'll shoot you over to Warhawk's Tower. Just hop the teleporters. You want to go straight across and over right here. This is Sander Spearcaller's tower, and you actually have to go into the tower. Now, he has these boxes, and they're pretty mean. They'll put traps on you constantly, so you don't necessarily want to fight them. Just go around the corner, and there you'll find the pillory, and the pillory is your free item. Our next stop is going to be Dragonspyre Academy. Now, from the Academy, you want to go into the Crucible. And let me show you on my map. It's really not hard at all, and it's not far at all. Once you get to Dragonspyre Academy, you'll go through the door that says the Crucible. And then once you come in from the Crucible, it's up here at the top. You're just going to go a tiny little piece down. Just a little bit down. You see the little green light right there? Yes. Okay, so then let me turn around. It's this little sidewalk. Go up the sidewalk. It's opposite that dragon's head. Now, see? Dragon Wall Bust. If you look up, that's what we're getting. That's the dragon's head on a bust above that door. And it's real simple. Just walk up to the door and you can get the Dragon Wall Bust. We've made our way all the way to Celestia now, and Celestia's very nice with their base camp because all their vendors are right here together. Now, where I'm located right now is across from the Star and Moon and Sun trainers. And I'm over here because of one particular vendor. This is Mr. Gearwise, and he's the only one I want to talk about. And that's because he carries one thing in particular that is so important to me, And that's the spell to craft teleporters. Now, I don't know if you're like I am and have multiple houses with your wizards, but it sure is nice to craft a teleporter instead of using crowns to buy the teleporters. We're in the Crustacean Empire, and right through the door, you'll go up this ramp and straight to the teleporter that you see here. We're going to take the one to the Senate. Right behind that teleporter, make the little loop here, is a vendor. Now this vendor is important. He has jewels and recipes, but it's the recipes that I was interested in because some of these recipes, like the one for the Athame, it offers 21% incoming and 20% outgoing, plus a 16% pip chance. So that's a really good Athame to have on a life wizard. He also offers a lot of other things. You have to be a Grandmaster Craftsman, but you could make some of the amulets if you were interested in the amulets. He has some very good ones that he offers as well for most of the different schools. But he also has some very good rings. There's another incoming and outgoing with a high pip chance, which would be great for your life wizard. And this one has an even higher rate of incoming and outgoing. So all of those are just really. We're over at the ossuary, and that is in Storm Riven. So in order to get here, you go from Celestia Base Camp down and all the way across the platform and through the sand and through the powerhouse and down a bit into a sandy area again, and that's where you'll find us at the ossuary. We are going to take a deep dive down to find the Storm Riven Hall, which is where we're going to find our next freebie, and it's a good one. So it's right across from the big statue that you see here in the middle. Right there, we're going to that temple. Okay, so straight up the ramp you go, and we are at Storm Riven Hall. Now once you're inside, you'll have to do the battles in order to open that gate that you see there. But after you battle that big octopus and you win, that statue right there is a freebie. And it's a beautiful statue, so you don't want to miss out on that one. After you get the statue, you should also know that there is a tomb over on the other side that's part of a quest that you may have picked up. So if you want to read that, that's where that is as well. Now we've made our way to the Science Center. To find the door to the Science Center, go to the little guy where I showed you who had the recipe for the teleporters, and right to the right of him will be the doorway to the Science Center when you're in the base camp. Now, I'll show you on the map. Once you're in the Science Center, you're going to make your way up from Celestia Base Camp and around to the left and over the bridgeway and across, and here we are right here. Once you get in, it's real easy. You're going to find Montgomery and Grace, and you'll see between them this open campfire. The open campfire is our freebie this time. So I'm going to end the video in Avalon. You go into the wild, and we're at the Toadstool Village. I thought this was a great place to end it because there are a couple of things here to talk about. Now, the first one we're going to talk about is Cassie the Ponycorn. You do have to complete a quest before she'll show up in this area for you, but once she does, it's really great because she gives the mass prisms. Now, your school, of course, will be free for you to pick up your mass prism. You definitely don't want to miss out on that one. And then go over into this area. Now I'm going to switch to my other wizard so that you can really see it. But if you'll go over into the area to the left of Cassie, there's this red-topped toadstool, and it's free for your wizard as well. And it's a beautiful toadstool. I love it. So that's it. That's the video for this time, guys. I certainly hope you found some tips and tricks that you didn't know about, and I hope the video was helpful. Be sure you drop down below and leave a comment if you enjoyed the video or if you want more like it. And if you know of any other free things or secret areas that would help out, put that there as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.